This is the lovely Tahana.
If you want to be confident in your own body, you've got to commit to it.
I think body confidence can be built literally
At any stage of life,
100%.
I deserved love no matter what I looked like.
Yeah.
Like self-love, worthiness, you deserve it no matter what you look like. Totally unnatural, filtered, photoshopped images that we've grown up with our whole lives. And here we are at home with masks on our hips at 14 going, what's wrong with me?
We've been raised with that kind of content on TV, whereas now, as you said, we are blessed to have this platform.
You still deserve that love, and your body deserves that love. You deserve to own your body. You deserve to live. You deserve to put on a bikini and go to the beach or a swimsuit. You know, you deserve to still live life and be happy. You don't have to wait until you're a certain size to do that.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous.
How are you?
Not as nervous as I was at my event last week.
Oh, yes.
So last week, week before.
That looked incredibly beautiful, by the way. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my first, actually, I think this is the first. I haven't edited them yet, but I think this is the first episode. Welcome, everybody. This is the lovely Johanna.
Hi.
If you're not familiar with her, she is a fabulous person, and she has an amazing Instagram account all about body positivity, just an overall lifestyle happiness. Like, what's the word to best describe your account?
I would say, yeah, definitely lifestyle, maybe self-love lifestyle.
Self-love lifestyle. Definitely head over to Tahana's Instagram. I'll have her linked down below. But anyway, today I'm going to take you through what we've got to eat. We kind of did a few, like, I don't know, random stop-offs. Like, we got some HJs, which we weren't planning on doing.
No, that was pretty random. But
Yeah.
I saw the HJs and felt like onion rings.
Yes, well, someone told me the other day, someone who follows me, said that their onion rings do exist, but they're not the same anymore, and that they're no longer crumbed. So I'm going to be interested to try that.
Yes.
Maybe we should just do that one on the topic of it. What do we think of it? Oh, I actually prefer that.
I don't know, I like the crunchiness of the crumb.
Do you?
But that's stupid.
And then where was the donuts down the front from? So baked by Nodo?
So these are from Nodo Donuts. They're based, I got them from the New Farm store. I think there's a few stores around, but they are the best donuts that I've ever had.
Are they anything like vegan or like anything like that? Or is it just like bad, delicious donuts?
I have a feeling they're like gluten-free,
okay.
dairy-free, but don't quote me on that. Let me check.
And then here we have was it Napoleon?
Margarita.
Oh, yes, margarita. Which does look bloody delicious and very home rustically made.
Yes.
And then this one was the gnocchi. What was the full name of it?
Gnocchi Napoli.
I keep asking Tahana, is this my series or yours?
I chose all the food.
Yes, you did.
And then we had the fettuccine alfredo, which is a creamy fettuccine pasta.
My favourite too, by the way. A garlicky creamy pasta dish is like, yeah, 100%.
So good.
Now, I've just realised, I do have my phone. Yay! Over on Instagram, if you don't follow me over there, definitely do. Same with Johanna. We both put out questions about what you wanted to know about with regards to body positivity after you've had your baby. Even if you haven't had kids, I feel like this topic's going to be relevant as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you might have just recently gained some weight unexpectedly. I know that I had that after my surgery a few years ago, and I had to completely adjust my mind to how I was going to love myself again and fit different clothes, and there's a couple of questions like that, so we're going to get into those. Okay, so the first question is by Lauram.123. How do you deal with the pressure of seeing other influencers go to the gym daily? And this is really interesting because you do go to the gym, but I feel like you're not shoving it in people's face. You're very like, I don't know, and it's up to the individual as well. Like, I'm personally the kind of person that I will only go to the gym if I feel like it, which is probably the reason why I'm also losing weight. But I'm about to be cleared by the doctor this week to go to the gym, and I think it's just up to you. You've got to want to do it.
I don't feel pressure to be like any other influencer. We all have our own lives and our own time and our own routines, and every single one of our situations is different. So I don't think you should ever feel pressure to do what everyone else is doing. You don't know what sort of resources and other people helping them they have behind the scenes. So don't pressure yourself to be like everyone else. My son's 3 and I've pretty much just got back into my gym routine. So I for that amount of time, took the pressure off myself because I had other priorities, and that's completely okay as long as you can train your mind to be okay with that. You're not going to get, down on your body and in a bad mood. So yeah, 3 years, and I'm only just back into it now. I don't put pressure on myself to go. I just go when I feel like it.
Yeah.
I try and put it in my daily routine where I can, but if there are days that I can't, that's completely fine.
And I think you're really good as well at deciphering the I don't really feel like going, from the, no, my body needs a rest day, or no, I just don't mentally want to go today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a huge thing that I've had to live with, because when I hadn't been for so long, you wouldn't say lazy, but you're a little bit in the mindset of, I just don't, don't
I'm
feel like
lazy
it.
right now. 100%.
You've got an 8-week-old. That is okay. I have a 3-year-old, so kind of not as good as an excuse anymore. But yeah, I definitely have days where I don't want to go, but I find that those days when I go, it's like, yeah, that was a really good workout. But then, of course, there are days when you literally just need to rest, and that's okay as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's something that I need to learn when I do go back to the gym. It's getting a little bit off topic, but I need to learn to listen to myself and my body, and that I don't have to go certain amount of days. It's just telling myself each day what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's day by day. I don't even tell myself at the start of the week, I want to go 7 times or I want to go 5 times. I literally just play it day by day. Some weeks I do like 8 sessions at F45. This week I did 2. So,
and especially with mum life, like you just don't know what the kids will be like, or if they're going to want to go to sit in the creche that day, and you just got to play it by ear, I think.
Yeah. Again, don't ever feel pressure to be like anyone else. You are you, and your situation is unique to you.
Shani Davies asks, was it hard to feel like your normal self again after having a baby? I don't think I ever felt like I wasn't myself.
Yeah, me either.
I felt like my body wasn't itself.
Okay.
In regards to how it looked when I look in the reflection. Like when I look at my tummy, I'm like, oh, it's definitely saggier. But that doesn't mean I don't feel like I still love myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It totally does. I was just going to say, on the opposite side of that, some women's body doesn't change very much. And I gained all my weight after pregnancy. Motherhood is where I gained all my weight, where I wasn't prioritizing myself. My body really didn't change that much in pregnancy.
Right.
And I struggled with that, because I would see all of these mothers sharing their bodies and their stretch marks and their skin. And I thought, that was beautiful and so empowering, but I didn't have that to share, which was, sort of like, I sort of didn't have the evidence that I had, grown a child. And
so did you have quite a small bump?
I did, yes. Yeah,
Right.
Achilles was only 6 pound 15. And at the time I only weighed about 70 kilos. So yeah, I'm now like 20 kilos more.
So do you think it was the stress of having a new baby and that sort of thing that you gained the weight, or?
100 million different things is why I gained the weight. I didn't get back into, well, first of all, I tried to get back into the gym way too early. I went to the gym at 4 weeks and then got lots of pain in my uterus. Didn't bother getting cleared by the doctor. Totally silly of me, which then put it off for even longer, and then you're out of the routine. And then I went back to work when Achilles was 4 months. I went back full time. So all I wanted to do once I would finish work was run home to my 4-month-old son.
Yeah.
And so that obviously went on for quite a long time, because I got into the routine of just going to work and then going home.
Right. So you had to return to work quite early on.
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been really difficult.
Yeah, it was. In all of the aspects, it was difficult. But that's just what I had to do, and that was just my life.
And that is a lot of mums' reality, where you can't afford to not go back to work.
Yep.
And I think that struggle of going to the gym, eating healthily, making sure you're prioritizing your child still, and I do find the same. I do find that I prioritize Darcy's diet and that before my own, which is very bad, because obviously your health is just as important. But yeah, it is a struggle. It's that balance. But that's a really good point that you say that, because I don't gain too much in pregnancy either. I gain about 9 to 10 kilos, I think, with both of the boys. But after the fact is where I go really bad because I'm breastfeeding and I've lost all my baby weight. My body still looks different though, but I then justify the carbs and I justify, I justify eating the naughty food. And it doesn't help when you've got your husband at home on maternity leave and you're like, screw it, let's go get pizza, or screw it, let's eat this. And we do try and like meal prep before we have babies arrive. But it's all well and good to say that. And then you kind of think, oh, I don't want to have that pumpkin soup for the 5th millionth time. So let's go and get Domino's, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I was lucky. Achilles' dad is like a...
that is good, sorry.
I'll have to have some next. It's like he's really into the gym. He eats really well. So
Okay.
I had that aspect. So I wasn't gaining too much weight in the first year. Then unfortunately we separated and that's when my weight just ballooned because I didn't have that healthy influence, I guess.
And going through a breakup can be like affecting your diet as well because it's sort of like to emotional terms.
I definitely was emotionally eating. Ice cream was my best friend.
Yeah, I agree. I emotionally eat. So when I'm going through a really tough stage of life, then I find that I do tend to turn to the food a lot more. But also habits, I don't know if I've heard this wrong, but it says it takes 30 days or something to break a habit. I don't know how long it takes to create a habit, but I do feel like when you're on maternity leave, that first 4 weeks or whatever it is that your husband's off creates a whole new pattern of eating. Yeah. And so it's really hard to break that habit once it's started. But yeah, I can't remember what the original question was now. Do you? No. Let's have a look, shall we?
Hopefully we answered it.
Yeah, hopefully. Was it hard to feel like your normal self again after having a baby? Yeah, I think that we answered that. Yeah. Okay. Christy Brock.963 asks, how to have body confidence after Bub is born when you don't have any? I have a good answer, but I want to see what you say. Putting you on the spot here.
I think body confidence can be built literally at any stage of life.
I agree.
No matter if you don't have it or not. I decided with my self-love journey that body confidence would be the number one step in my self-love journey because I wanted to know that I deserved love no matter what I looked like.
Yeah.
Like self-love, worthiness, you deserve it no matter what you look like. So I'm a completely different size than I was a year ago, but I still respect my body the same. I may love it a little bit more, but the reason that I have the body confidence is that I treated my body with love. I spoke to myself with respect. I made conscious decisions to treat my body and my mind and myself way better than I did beforehand.
And I think that's the key word is you have to consciously decide to do it. Like, it doesn't just happen naturally. Like, you know, it's the same with breastfeeding. People say, oh, it's just something that you should just be able to do. But it's not. And that was my answer with it is, I think I mentioned this on one of your posts recently in a comment, but it was on one of your self-love posts. And I said that I created this challenge, or I saw this challenge somewhere. I can't remember where it was. But someone said if you look at yourself in the mirror at least once every single day for 30 days and repeat to yourself, either internally or externally, that you love yourself and just name something beautiful about yourself that is a physical feature, not something that is a personality trait, then you start to believe those things. And it's so true. Like if you're constantly feeding yourself negative thoughts, like every time you see your stomach, you're like, oh, that's ugly. Or, oh, that's really fat, or I don't like that about myself, then you're going to start to feed those thoughts of, I hate myself, I don't like myself. Like it might just start with your tummy and then it turns into, you're a disgusting person. And it just feeds, like negativity really feeds. And the same with positivity. Like it's such a journey for me. Like I used to really dislike myself when I first put on that weight, when I had that surgery and I gained all of that stuff back, because I worked really hard. Like I gained weight after high school through depression, and then I worked really hard before I got married to lose all of that weight. I think I got down to 80 kilos, which is the lowest that I ever was since high school when I was going through hormones and that sort of stuff. And I really loved myself when I got to that weight. And then I had my surgery and I was bedbound for about 4 months because I couldn't walk, and ended up eating the same amount of calories. It wasn't bad food, but it was the same amount of calories as I was eating when I was training and going to the gym and doing all that. And then I gained it back and I was like, but I've been eating healthy. But it's just the calories didn't change. And so then I had to really adjust myself to loving who I am in the moment. And I can still love myself now, but know I need to improve myself. That's where I've really struggled, is knowing that I can still love and accept who I am in this moment and still want to be better. Yeah, because I think that's where people get stuck. They go, well, if I love myself at this weight, then I'll have no motivation to lose the weight.
No, that's totally not what self-love is at all. I've seen a meme going around that self-love is really restricting. It allows you to be comfortable with where you are, but self-love is all about growth and becoming better, becoming healthier, becoming more active, becoming everything that you weren't before. It's just knowing that even though you're a work in progress, right now you still deserve that love, and your body deserves that love. You deserve to own your body. You deserve to live. You deserve to put on a bikini and go to the beach or a swimsuit. You know, you deserve to still live life and be happy. You don't have to wait until you're a certain size to do that.
Yeah. And don't think about what others are going to think about you.
Yeah. Because I think everyone is thinking the same about themselves. Like the more confident you are in yourself, the, you know, bigger impact you'll have on other people around you as well. So in answer to the question, how to get body confidence when you don't have any, just start with one little thing. Look in the mirror and find something that you love about yourself. And then tomorrow, look in the mirror and find 2 things, and then go on from there. So the more positive you are about your body, the more positive you'll become about your body. And eventually you'll be able to love it. Oh, yeah.
Good. Have you had a piece of the pizza yet?
I haven't.
You've got to try it. It's really nice. It's good, isn't it?
Gnocchi is my favourite.
Is it? Oh, it's one of mine too, but I like it in creamy sauce better. Rose Young is done. Asks, oh no, B Rose Young's done?
B Rose Young is done.
Okay, good. How to not get upset about stretch marks after giving birth. Did you get any?
I didn't.
Oh, that's good.
I got one tiny one. It's on the top of my vagina. But that's it.
But I hate myself, actually. I shouldn't have said that's good, because it's good regardless of what you get. Because I have a big amount, I would say, of stretch marks. Some people might disagree. Some people might say there's way more that you can get. But I have them stretching up till about 2/3 of my stomach. And I used to really hate my stretch marks. So when I was in high school, before I was even fat, like I was the skinniest, most athletic person. I did like so many sports, and I still had stretch marks on my lower tummy and on my hips.
Yeah.
And I could not have been more of a skinny bean. Like when I look back at myself, I'm like, you look so skinny, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now they've just grown, obviously, with my body changing and that sort of thing. And I don't know when it changed. I think it changed around that time where I was, no, do you know what? Thinking about it was when I had DAS. And how stupid is this? It was curated in my mind that it was okay to have them because I'd had a baby. But I had to justify that to myself, that I'd had a baby, for it to be okay. Shouldn't be that way.
It's a beautiful reason to have them. But like you, I got them during puberty. I've got them all at the top of my breasts. I've got them all down my hips. And yeah, that was from growing. Like something that you have no control over.
Yeah. And they say, oh, you know, use oils to help it and all that sort of stuff. I don't agree with that. I think you can help reduce the risk of it. But if you're going to have stretch marks, I think it's a hereditary thing.
It's 100,000% genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really wish I could look up the stats of how many people have stretch marks, because I'm sure it would be literally like 90% of people. There's nothing wrong with stretch marks. And as I said, having a child is such a beautiful reason to have stretch marks and marks on your stomach.
But people have it regardless of it. Like I wish I had have loved my stretch marks before having kids, because I told myself, well, it's okay that you have them because now you have a child to justify it. So you don't have to feel embarrassed about it anymore, because people know in society that you get stretch marks when you have babies. But why can't society just, and I guess it isn't just society, it's how we perceive ourselves. It's not really what society is saying to us. It's what we just think and assume they think. You know what I mean?
But also society doesn't tell us that it's completely normal, because you don't see that. Well, now you do, thank goodness for social media, but when we were growing up, you didn't see that anywhere. No. None of the models had cellulite, stretch marks, acne, pores, even, you know, totally unnatural, filtered, photoshopped images that we've grown up with our whole lives. And here we are at home with marks on our hips at 14 going, what's wrong with me? Mm-hmm. Absolutely nothing. 100% most of those models would have had
some kind of imperfection, or well, what's the
not
right
even
word?
An imperfection.
No, what's
normal bodily mark.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't it funny how we instantly go, oh, imperfection, or we go to say something like that, but it's not. It's a perfection. It's perfectly imperfect. You know.
Yeah, I used to beat myself up even about the pores on my face, because I never had seen anyone else with pores before. Obviously, because you can't see them when you're looking at people, and I see all these images everywhere. Like, why do I have these giant pores and everyone else has perfect skin? Well, they really didn't.
No.
Everyone has pores.
Yeah, everyone. And I remember feeling insecure about like pimples and that sort of thing and scarring. Like I have on my chest, I don't really talk about it because I've never really had to. But I get these, I think they're keloid scars. I'm not too sure. I've been looking into like getting this one removed because it's like in where my face around it is. But all over my back and stuff, like on my shoulders, I've got them. Is it that shoulder, I think, or that shoulder? I've got one there.
Oh, yeah.
I get them on my back, and it's hereditary. I think my father, had them. But I, for so long, have had that scar. I got that one about 16 years of age, and it starts with a pimple, turns into a scar. And it doesn't matter whether I pop it, don't pop it, anything. And I felt so insecure about it. It doesn't matter what part of your body it is, you're always going to have that thing that you don't necessarily love, but you have to learn to love, you know? And it's, I don't know, I guess it's a bit hypocritical me saying learn to love and then I want to get rid of this one. Yeah. But I don't know, would you agree that you can still love yourself and those aspects but still want to get rid of something?
100%.
Yeah.
You don't have to love every single bit of you, but if there's something that you don't like that you can't change, then you have to accept it and kind of move on. But if there's something that you can change that might make you feel better, 100%, I'm all for that.
It's so true that when you work on your body or work on yourself, it has to be all aspects of yourself. It can't just be, I'm going to lose the 30 kilos and I'll feel better about myself. Yeah. It's the body thing and the mind thing and everything. Yeah. And you're about to start this self-love challenge, aren't you?
Yes.
So tell us about that, because I would love to know more.
Well, you can join via Facebook. I've got the link in my bio, my Instagram.
I'll pop it in the bio too.
Yep. So it's a month-long self-love challenge. I guess if you're at any stage of your self-love journey, it'll help. So there'll be daily challenges, daily tasks. There'll be self-care.
I love that.
Information, tips.
So sort of like pamper yourself one night, isn't it? And then like tell yourself 5 things that you love about yourself one day, or like
a little bit more in depth than that.
Okay.
Because while self-care is an aspect of self-love, it's a very small
yeah
aspect.
Okay, that's great. I'm actually so excited. I saw this the other day that you were talking about it, and I was like, I need to do this, because you can always improve. You know what I mean? Like I feel like just licking my palm. I feel like I do quite. And this is the thing, I was going to say love myself, and I'm like, that sounds cocky, but it's not. It's just true. Like, you do have to learn to love yourself. But even though I do love myself, there's still days where I go in doubt of myself, and I'm like, no, you can't wear those because you look like a fat person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
I can't, and then I pull myself up the next day and go, no, you can't talk about yourself like that. Let's be positive, continue on, and it ebbs and flows, and you might feel the same. Do you have days where you don't feel
Absolutely.
like...
I wouldn't say days now. It's more like moments. But self-love it's not something that you just go, oh, I love myself, and then you move on. It's literally, you're working on this every single day. It's a relationship with yourself. And that's the same as body positivity and body confidence. It's not something that you just have. It's something that you create and work on every single day of your life. It's not something that you can ever just stop or just have. You've got to constantly work on it.
And I'm so glad that you're confirming that for me, because, you know, there's no Bible with it. There's no like, this is the steps you take to love yourself. And I've just been doing my own little journey.
Yeah.
I haven't read up on anything. I haven't done anything specifically. I've been following accounts like Tahana's to help boost my positivity and boost that, not boost the ideas, but to follow more ideas of how I can love myself more and better. So that helps. But I haven't ever really asked anybody else how they grew to love themselves or grew in confidence and do have bad days and that sort of things. That's really what this whole episode is about, is knowing what you can improve on or how you can learn to love yourself. Or I love myself a lot, but what's something else that I could maybe do? Or am I alone in feeling like some days that I don't? And you know, that sort of thing. Because there's certainly times where I'm like, hold on, I don't feel confident today. So how the hell can I go and then say to someone else, be confident? You know what I mean? But it's so true. You do. It's a journey, and there's ups and there's downs.
And the longer you go, the less downs there will be. At the start, you can't just expect to be completely confident every single day. It takes a long time, but you've got to commit to it. If you want to be confident in your own body, you've got to commit to it.
Commitment's a good word. It's kind of like committing to be in a long-term relationship with yourself, to love yourself, you know?
100%. We deserve that.
I'm so glad you're another person that says 100% all the time.
I swear I've never said it before.
I really? Oh, I'm going to wake up Darcy. Now it's going to be a new video, but 100%.
That is good.
It's so funny when I do these episodes, I start to realise quirks or things about myself that I do. Never realised I said 100% so much until I started editing videos.
1000%.
This is kind of a little bit different. How did you feel about your body after having a baby? Says the Diary of a Young Mum.
We go first.
Immediately after, I felt empowered. I was like, my body is incredible. And like, I've just created this human and technically birthed it. It was birthing it, but it's like not vaginally. So I felt incredible in that regards. But then because I had a scar, I didn't mind it so much the first time, but when I've had Winnie, they must have like sewn me slightly different, and it's kind of like bulging that pouch a bit more now, like it's sewn it in a bit harder. Sewn it in a bit tighter. So like down below, I can never imagine, even if I lost all the weight, it ever being flat again. So I kind of struggled, I guess, a week after once I'd looked at it, because I don't know about anyone else, but I don't look at the scar in the first week because I'm like, I'm scared it's going to be like all gross and yucky. But I had to take the thingy off, and I had a look and I was like, oh, I don't love that. Because it means that I'll never have a perfectly flat stomach again. You know what I mean? And I probably would never have had that again regardless of the scar. But I think it was just that adjustment of, oh, it's not perfect.
What is a perfect stomach?
But
honestly?
that's what I had to get around to.
I actually felt a little like it wasn't my body.
Oh,
like I exercised a lot during my pregnancy. I had quite a fit pregnancy, which is the reason that I wanted to go back to the gym so soon. 4 weeks. Silly mistake. But yeah, I just didn't feel like me. I felt very weak. I was quite strong, felt weak and not like me.
And that must have been really difficult.
Yeah, it was. It was difficult to feel sort of different and not like I'd worked so hard to become so strong, and then to just feel so weak and knowing that I had to do it all over again. Yeah, it was a difficult feeling, but at the same time, oh, and also one thing, I didn't realize that your uterus stayed big. That was something I didn't know. There was none of these post-birth photos everywhere. So when I looked in the mirror after giving birth, I was like, why does it still look like I'm pregnant? I had no idea. No idea. So that was something that I learned.
Yeah, well, like social media over the last 3 years, like you said, Achilles is now 3. It's just completely changed in regards to sharing motherhood and that postpartum body. Yeah. There wasn't very much about it.
No.
Because I'm just trying to think back when I had DARS. Even then there wasn't really.
Yeah. Now I would go into a second pregnancy knowing so much more just from social media, seeing all of the different bodies and all of the different experiences, all of the different births.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just incredible. So eye-opening. Like,
Mm.
and as I said before that, I knew nothing. I didn't even know that my uterus would stay big. Like, how crazy is that?
But I guess when you think about it, like, you birthed the baby out, you're like, well, that's all that was in there, so why does it stay there?
What is this? Alice in Healthy Land. Hello, Alice. I love you. If you're not following Alice on Instagram, you should follow Alice because she's also a body positivity, self-love queen like myself. How was your self-image growing up? Were you kind to yourself?
Well, that's a really good question.
So good. And 1000% no. So I'm 32 in December, and I probably was kind to myself for the first time when I was 30 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. So I spent 30 and a half years being unkind to myself.
That's crazy.
Hating my body, no matter what it looked like. Thinking that the only time that I deserved to be kind to myself was when I thought I looked okay.
And can I ask you what triggered you to start that self-love journey? What made you change your mind?
I think it was being alone and being with myself. So I separated from my son's father, spent a lot of time with myself, really segregated myself. But it was really good because I was like, I'm so sick of just being a bitch to myself. I'm so over this. I just wanted to be happy. That's all I've ever wanted. So I just decided, probably over a couple of months, I was seeing a life coach as well who helped me through it.
That's a really great idea too. Like, seeking external help does not make you any less of a person.
It was
100%.
The best thing that I had ever done. Yeah. So I was just so over hating my body and hating myself and hating who I was that I just needed to make some changes.
Yeah. And so what were some of the examples of things that you would have said to yourself? Like, if someone's watching this right now and thinking, well, I don't love myself, but I don't think I hate myself. What were some of the things that...
If I say some of the things that I said to myself, you'd probably think that I did hate myself. And I probably did. You know, you're not worthy. You're not good enough. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, I was on Instagram still. No one cares. You have no friends. You know, but I was the one segregating myself from my friends, but I was internally saying you have no friends, but I was pushing them all away. I honestly don't know where that stems from. You know, I've hated my body since I was like, for as long as I can remember. I wanted it to be different. I think I was on Weight Watchers at 16 years old.
Oh my gosh, Tahana.
Yeah, at 17 I starved myself for 2 weeks because I thought that would be a good way to lose weight, and I fainted at work. I lost sight in one of my eyes. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? I don't know where I heard this from the other day, but I said that quite a lot. I don't know where I heard this from the other day, but it's true. I heard a story of a girl's anorexia journey, and it actually stemmed, like, she was a 12-year-old. I think it was on YouTube, actually. It was a suggested video. She was 12 and had anorexia because her parents had been playing I'm the Biggest Loser on TV, which was a common show back in the day. Yeah. Like, you'd have it on your telly. I know my mum used to watch it and that sort of thing. And at like 10 or 12, you're watching that, and it's putting in your mind, you cannot eat this, and you
have
should
to
lose weight.
And 6 hours a day.
Yeah. We've been raised with that kind of content on TV. Whereas now, as you said, we are blessed to have this platform where there's just your everyday people.
Yeah.
Everyday people sharing the aspects of their life, and that's so much more relatable because you realise, actually, I don't need to be perfect. I can have days where I don't exercise. I can have days where I eat bad. I can do this. Yeah, exactly. So
I can do this without feeling guilty or feeling like I have to not eat for the next couple of days or go to the gym for 3 hours afterwards.
Yeah. Is that the hazelnut one? Yeah. Oh, it feels like dense, but like nice. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, I just sniffed it.
We'll be right back.
Who needs vibrators, guys? Oh my. It has a filling, and it has, what's the main thing? I'm getting kind of marzipan-y, like almond flour flavour.
Yeah, definitely almond milk.
That's good.
Shannon_Gibb. Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Love you. Shannon's my bestie. How do you show confidence when you don't like what you see? So there are obviously a number of things that Shannon could be talking about. Have you just put on a little bit of weight? Is it the stretch marks? Is it the skin? Is it freckles? I don't know. If it's just that you've put on a little bit of weight, starting to treat your body a little bit better is such a good place to start.
Yeah.
I know as soon as I make a conscious decision, well, I have to make it every day. Some days I don't make it and I don't do it, but to treat my body the way it deserves to be treated. So for the last year, I've tried to eat better, be more active, talk to myself better. When you don't do any and all of those things, that's when you start to not like your body and what you're seeing. So taking a few steps each day. So say you've put on weight lately and you want to change that. Well, so think about what steps that you can do to change that. So make something that's going to change that a priority. So waking up a little bit earlier to work out, eating better, making a nice morning routine that's going to make you feel better and be in a happier mind space. If you're looking in the mirror and you're not liking what you see, then it's not just something physically that you think is wrong with you. Something is not right mentally as well. So you need to address that also. I don't like my arms. They're still quite flabby, even though they're really strong now. I'm taking steps towards, they might not ever not be flabby, but I'm working out, I'm lifting weights to get stronger. And I just accept that these are my arms. I can't literally change something overnight. So think something like that. I don't look in the mirror like this and go, oh, I love my arms. Like that's ingenuine. That's not self-love.
Yeah.
I just don't focus on my arms. I focus on the things that I do love about myself.
Yeah. So I was just about to say that, like we've been talking about loving ourselves and then we're pointing out things that we don't love.
Yeah.
And that's so true. Like it's disgenuine if you're saying you love every single part about yourself, because that's not going to be the case. It's just about living with those things and not hating yourself for having them.
I like to think about how lucky are we that our biggest problem with our bodies are that we have flabby arms and a double chin.
A physical thing.
Literally, there are people out there who are missing limbs, who cannot see, who cannot hear, who can't speak,
going through cancer,
who are ill.
Anything.
It's being so grateful for your body and everything that it gives to us, even despite sometimes we don't treat it properly. Our bodies enable us to do so many things: eat, breathe, see, hear, talk to each other, hug each other, love, live, run along the beach, touching the sand with your toes. Some people don't get to do that. So it's really important that you feel grateful every day for what your body can do for you, not just the way it looks, because that's the least important thing about it, what it does for you.
Gosh, I love her. Isn't she amazing? Like, this is why I love going on her page, because it's just exactly that. But thank you so much, guys. If you're still watching it to the end, make sure you go down and hit the thumbs up. Also, check out the links in the I was going to say bio, but description. We will have all of our deets down there.
Always wanted to do this then. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos.
You're a natural. Absolute natural. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.